Hi, I'm Amy. I'm here today at the Scottish Parliament to interview Kezia Dugdale. I'm going to be asking her what it's like to be an MSP and what MSPs do at Scottish Parliament. Hi, so what does an MSP do?
First and foremost, an MSP represents their constituents by picking up concerns and issues they have and speaking truth to power. The second most important thing we do is pass laws here in the Scottish Parliament, like the British Sign Language Act.
Interesting. So he says constituents. How do you help your constituents?
Well, most of the time MSPs have what they call surgeries, where they'll go to a community centre or a library or maybe even a supermarket and encourage people to come and talk to them about issues that they might have in their local community. Maybe problems with their house, financial problems, or if they have things that they want us to raise with the council over wheelie bins, all sorts of day-to-day things like that. That's most of the work that we do street by street.
And how do BSL users access that service?
Well, the Parliament has a good system of trying to be accessible for BSL users, but we want to be even better at it. And I hope in the not too distant future we'll be able to have a Facebook video which will sum up everything that's happened in the Parliament over the past week. I think that would make a big difference so that BSL community know exactly what's happening each week.
That's interesting. And what about your area, your constituency?
So I don't think anybody that uses BSL has been to one of my surgeries in the 6 years that I've been in MSP, but very recently a granny came to see to me who has a grandson who is deaf, and she's desperately keen to try and learn BSL, and she was asking me how she might be able to get financial help to do that, and that's the type of work that MSPs do.
So if a BSL user came to you, would you provide an interpreter for them?
The Scottish Parliament would be able to provide that service, yes, and we would do everything we possibly could to make sure that that particular individual had the same access to their politician and the services that MSP offer that anybody else would.
So what kinds of issues then do MSPs deal with?
At the moment, I'm doing lots of work around the justice system and people who are very upset about the results that judges come forward with. They want to have a better understanding of why, and they want answers from powerful people. So I'm supporting them to make sure that the justice system is fairer. And a lot of that is to do with women's issues, in particular domestic abuse, sexual violence, things like that. That's what a lot of my work at the moment's about.
So how can I get involved in the Scottish Parliament?
Well, one really good way of getting involved in the Parliament's work is through what we call cross-party groups, and there are over 100 registered with the Parliament just now. Everything from mental health to Scotland's relationship with China. And these meetings take place at lunchtimes in the evenings, so they should be quite accessible to people who are working, and that's a really good way to meet MSPs and other like-minded people.
So that meant then if I went to a cross-party meeting, would I just be there to, watch, or do MSPs regularly get involved in these meetings?
So MSPs have to, a certain number of MSPs have to go along to a cross-party group in order for it to be a proper formal event, but most of the people there aren't politicians, they're people with an interest in a particular subject, or maybe they work in that field, and they'll have conversations or debates about a particular issue. I was at the cross-party group for children and young people just a few days ago, where we talked about Scotland's Year of the Young Person, and in a meeting like that, everyone can get involved, everyone can say their piece and be demanding and ask hard questions of people with power.
Thank you. So that's what an MSP does in Parliament. That's really interesting. That was a lot of interesting information Kezia gave. And I can't wait to see what happens in the future. Maybe I'll be involved myself.